Guys, Joe Rogan has just made a major statement about what Katt Williams is reportedly dealing with after speaking out about Diddy. And honestly, it's disturbing because it gives the impression that Katt is facing consequences simply for calling out people he believes are doing harmful things.
He said what?
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, do you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
If I didn't have a God protecting me, I would be toast. These motherfuckers hate me. I thought they were just gonna laugh it off. They did not laugh at all. Hollywood was so mad at me, I went back and watched the Shannon Sharpe interview myself. What did he say? P. Diddy, 4 years. Say that again. For taking 27 asses. 4 years.
Joe Rogan didn't mince words when discussing Katt Williams and the fallout after Katt made his comments about Diddy. Joe explained that he's spoken with people behind the scenes, and according to him, the situation is far more complicated than most people assume. He suggested that whenever someone tries to dig into allegations involving influential individuals, information suddenly becomes difficult to trace. Records disappear, documents can't be found, and anyone who raises questions ends up sidelined or ignored.
I've had conversations with people about it, and it's like, Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like they're the state of New York. One of the district attorneys was hiding documents that have forced them to give documents. I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy party?
That's why Joe believes Katt experienced so much turmoil after calling people out. He said there were too many prominent names connected to those environments. Nobody wanted a comedian drawing attention to sensitive issues, especially not when it involved someone as well connected as Diddy, whose gatherings often included celebrities, public officials, and industry figures. Joe put it this way: everyone knows these events happen, but suddenly everyone's pretending they never saw anything? Yeah.
You guys were on video saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party. How many people like openly talked about being there?
LeBron?
Yeah, how about Ashton Kutcher? All these people. Like, you guys all went. You didn't see nothing? You didn't see nothing?
Yeah.
Donnell.
Donnell went?
Yeah.
Did he? Of course he
He's
did.
on tape,
Donnell
like,
who?
trying to defend himself.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Is he trying to defend himself right now?
It's pretty funny.
I got to call him up. Donnell, you got to back away from that.
Isn't there a video with Kamala?
She was at one of the Diddy parties?
Isn't she in the background with?
It might have been the difference between Diddy parties and freak-offs. Oh, my God.
They're giving him shit, too, because he's sitting in his little...
Oh, the guy from Chappelle Show?
Yeah.
And then
He's in between
Dave's
his
there,
legs.
too. And then Russell Simmons, too. Oh, boy. But is that at a party, or is that just a group of them together?
They were, like, on a yacht or something like that.
Okay, but that's not the Diddy
No,
party.
yeah. It's not like they were at kind of...
I think...
You think Diddy was rogue, or Diddy was like a Epstein type, working for somebody?
That's a good question. Well, it would be a
'Cause he had the
great way
juice
to
lot of
compromise celebrities.
Joe also pointed out how the pieces line up. He said Katt was one of the few willing to speak up early, while most celebrities attended those events smiling for cameras and acting like everything was perfectly fine. Katt, on the other hand, was saying, no, something isn't right here. And shortly after that, his career seemed to get tougher. He faced arrests over minor incidents, was excluded from certain events, and the media began portraying him as unstable.
I want to know, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
Oh, because
I was gonna ask that.
because in 30 years I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
You will tell it.
no, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty.
That wasn't by coincidence. When major industry figures feel threatened, they rarely confront you openly. Instead, they apply quiet pressure. Calls stop getting returned. Opportunities disappear. Your reputation gets chipped away. Joe appears convinced that this is exactly what happened to Katt after he mentioned Diddy. And what's striking is that he isn't the only one who warned that Katt might be in danger for speaking about the darker side of Hollywood. Jaguar Wright claimed things became so serious for Katt that he had to wear Kevlar inside his own home because the threat to his safety felt that real.
You know what's interesting?
Go ahead.
It's Katt Williams that taught me how to be Jaguar Wright.
Oh, wow. Okay. What was it about him that you kind of say, ooh?
10-10. He was my 30th birthday present. Almost 17 years ago. I'll never forget when he walked into the club and I was sitting at my table. It's my birthday party. And Special Ed brought him.
Shout out Special.
And me and Ed were celebrating our birthdays that year for the Taurus Affair that we used to do in Miami Beach every year. And Katt was playing the amphitheater and he wanted to meet me. And he came to my party, gave me about 20 grand in cash and said, consider it a down payment on your time. And Moni Love was there. Cousin Sonny was there. Imrel was outside smoking a blunt, so she missed the infamous picture with all of us together with Katt. And me and him sitting next to each other, two hats on, two cats in the hat.
Yeah.
And he taught me so much in 9 months. Walking away was hard, but it was when the Illuminati first started coming after him. And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house. And I left. You know, back in that moment, Katt was still wearing Kevlar to bed. To bed.
And one of the people she has consistently accused of being part of this intimidation culture was Diddy.
What was it about that and him at the moment where it made you want to speak your truth?
He went after Comedy Central. That's what happened. The Flavor Flav roast. The moment that I knew the Snoop Dogg is sold out. That was a hurtful moment. I was always grateful to Snoop for taking Corrupt under his wing. Ricky was in a lot of trouble in Philly. If he hadn't signed a dog pan, I don't even know if he would have been alive. I've always been grateful to Snoop for that. Ricky, my brother.
That's real. Man, that's real. So let me, go ahead.
They wanted Katt to humiliate Flav. Like humiliate him. Like no holds barred. And they sent a bunch of good jokes. And I'll never forget watching Katt in the office downstairs at the house in Marina Del Rey. And he's sitting there looking at the script and just shaking his head. And then the next thing you know, the phone rang and I'm standing there in the office in the doorway and I'm like, are you all right? And he picked up the phone and it was Comedy Central. And I listened to him threatening him. He said, I'm not doing this. You are not going to get a black man, a real black man, to agree to do this to another black man. Dollars. It was a terrible day. And then that's when all the incidents started happening. them sending people to the house, them putting plants backstage at the shows. I mean, I was on tour with him for American Hustle.
Right.
I was on set for First Sunday.
Right.
What was it about that moment and about him that pushed you to speak your truth? He went after Comedy Central. That's what triggered it. The Flavor Flav roast. That was the moment I realized Snoop Dogg had sold out, and that hit hard. I had always appreciated Snoop for helping Corrupt when he needed it most. Ricky was in serious trouble in Philly, and if he hadn't signed to the Dog Pound, I'm not sure he'd still be here. I've always respected Snoop for that. Ricky is like family. That's real. They wanted Katt to tear Flav apart on stage, completely tear him down with no limits. They handed him a stack of jokes, and I remember Katt sitting in the office in Marina Del Rey, looking through the scripts, just shaking his head. Then the phone rang. I was standing in the doorway, and I asked if he was okay. He picked up, and it was Comedy Central. I heard him push back, saying, "I'm not doing this. You're not going to get a real black man to do this to another black man for money." It was a rough day. After that, the incidents started. People showing up at the house, plants backstage at shows. I was with him during the American Hustle tour. I was on set for First Sunday. Jaguar said Katt was dealing with constant pressure behind the scenes, unexpected visitors at his home, last-minute production changes, and other performers suddenly replacing him after he refused to comply. She insisted none of it was random. It was targeted, and the timing always seemed to connect back to the same powerful individuals associated with Diddy.
The one thing that Katt said on Shay Shay that it seems like everybody missed, especially now, was that the biggest job of people in the Shluminati is to pretend like none of it's real, to pretend like none of it happens, to keep the secret, to make it all seem like, oh no, that's not happening, that's not happening, that's not happening. Isn't that exactly what's happening now?
Sorry.
HSI runs up onto multiple properties. And they collected all kinds of things that never made it to that courtroom, did it? Not one mention of a firearm, not one mention, even though some of the testimony said that he carried firearms. The way Kid Cudi's car, the way that whole situation happened, I mean, it was on court document. People were sitting there talking about it, and they still trying to act like that never happened. Everybody keeps trying to rewrite history. But if Katt can sit down on Shay Shay and say all the things that he said, if I can sit here on this couch and share with y'all all of the things that I've shared with y'all, if Natanya Rubin can come forward and talk about how she was powdered in the face the night that Shine was there, the night that J-Lo threw the firearm out the window, like if all of the, you know, if Gene Deal can say the things that he has said, if all of the people that can come forward and say all of these things, and understand this, we ain't a group of friends. We're all not a group of friends.
Right.
We're all different people whose paths have crossed throughout the years for one reason or another, who have very similar information all regarding the same kinds of people. Correct?
Correct.
And tell me something, how am I a liar when I say everybody know about it? See, that's the problem. Everybody's still trying to pretend like they didn't know about it. Everybody's still sitting there trying to pretend like this ain't all common knowledge.
This is what many people missed at the time. Katt wasn't just making jokes, he was pointing out things people were expected to stay silent about. And once Diddy's name entered the conversation, the backlash intensified even more.
Don't turn down $50 million. Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a mother to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room. Why you think I speak with such clarity? I'm actually involved in each one of these stories I told you about.
She believes Katt's career suffered repeated setbacks because he spoke up too early, long before the public understood what was happening behind the scenes. Jaguar said she had spent nearly a decade waiting for the moment Katt finally spoke openly against figures like Diddy, including what he discussed on Club Shay Shay.
Let me ask, the moment he went on Club Shay Shay and did what he did, that's the Katt you expected.
That's the moment I've been waiting for 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
And I'm so grateful that I was there kicking in that door so he could just blow it down.
Oh.
There's an effort. I'm surprised people ain't catching on yet. I'm never loud when Kanye's loud. Gene Deal's never loud when I'm loud. But if we're running in tandem, somehow everything that we're saying, even though we don't speak, is always corroborating each other.
No. That's
I can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to find out what's really been going on in the background. It's just not yet.
Are we in the era of truth now?
Absolutely.
You know,
everything that is about to happen this year is intentional, and it has been in the making for over 10 years now. I promise you this, yet.
Oh.
And Ye has not had his aha moment yet. You can doubt us all, but the one thing you cannot deny, we are all Hebrew, we are all gifted, and we are all fearless.
Now, when it comes to Diddy, there have been some notable updates regarding his time in prison. TMZ captured footage of him at Fort Dix, appearing like any other inmate, not a celebrity. No entourage, no perks, just Diddy heading to his chapel library assignment wearing a simple jacket and standard prison clothing. He looked tired, aged, and far from the polished image he once presented. The footage showed him pushing a TV cart, handing out DVDs, suggesting books, and helping inmates find religious materials.
He is the answer. He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library, where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library itself.
But you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It's
this was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people and get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
this got to be
his first assignment.
This got to be a promotion.
Yeah,
it feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunch room and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does believe it. It does sound
mogul.
like he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
What stood out, though, was how relaxed he seemed, smiling, composed, almost disconnected from the reality of his situation, as if he believes he'll be released sooner than expected. But that may have to wait, because there's a new development in his ongoing legal troubles and is drawing major attention. Diddy is currently incarcerated after being found guilty of violating the Mann Act. A music producer who had previously filed a civil case has now submitted an official police report about an incident he claims took place in Los Angeles in 2020. This is separate from his earlier claim involving a confrontation in Santa Monica in 2021, where he said he was approached and called a snitch. Here's what we know.
What we know, the new allegations of sexual assault against Sean Diddy Combs come from a music producer who went to police in Florida, but the alleged crimes happened in Los Angeles. Jonathan Hay is his name. That's the person who filed the complaint, and he's one of the John Does that filed a civil lawsuit against Combs in July. The first alleged incident was in September of 2020 in LA. Hay alleging that Combs performed sex acts in front of him and asked for oral sex. In a second incident, in 2021, Hay claims that C.J. Wallace, the son of the rapper Notorious B.I.G., took him to a location where two men put something over his head, he says, before Combs forced himself on Hay several times. Combs is currently serving out a sentence in Fort Dix, New Jersey, following his conviction earlier this year on two prostitution-related charges. Combs' representatives have not yet responded to this law.
The producer is also involved in a separate disagreement with CJ, the son of the late Biggie Smalls. CJ has responded with a counterclaim, stating the producer is making false accusations after they chose not to collaborate with him on music projects. As with any police report, authorities must investigate, but this does not confirm the claims. At this point, officials are only reviewing the details. Jonathan Hay, however, has long alleged a pattern of misconduct by Diddy.
Still see like the floor and stuff under my eyes. They push me back into this room, and like there's this like ottoman. I fall in the back of the chair, and then Diddy's comes in, and I could hear his voice. I could see his feet, and I'm like trying to look up, through these little cracks, like what's going on. And he's like, you don't deserve Biggie Smalls. You don't deserve, to be with the Biggie estate. He's just going on and on and on and on and on, right? And like sitting there like tripped out because I was in a home invasion, 2 years prior to that.
Right.
And next thing you know, Diddy is like putting his in my mouth, and I'm like, he's grabbing my head, and he's like grabbing the back of my head and like my face type shit. And I thought for sure that I was gonna die at that point because he was angry and yelling. And after all that like ended, CJ and Willie come in the room, and I could tell that CJ was surprised, maybe. I don't know. But he obviously set it up, and then he was like, bro, just smoke this blunt. And like, I just had Diddy's doing his share a blunt, right? Like, I was like, bro, I just want to go. I want to go. And they drive me back to my hotel, and that was it. That was the last that I saw them.
An attorney who phoned in to TMZ Live explained that many individuals waited years before coming forward due to Diddy's influence in the industry, while others argue it's too early to reach any conclusions. For now, everything rests with investigators and the legal process. We'll have to see whether this new allegation results in charges, is dismissed, or proceeds in court. Meanwhile, Diddy faces additional challenges. 50 Cent just dropped major news of his own. Netflix has released a synopsis and teaser for 50's upcoming documentary series, The Reckoning, which covers Diddy's rise, his role in shaping the music industry, and the legal controversies that later followed. All 4 episodes will be available on December 2nd. Online reactions have been intense, with figures like DJ Academix questioning whether 50 should be making documentaries like this.
50, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I thought he was trolling, because I do think 50 is a guy to kick you when you're down, and Diddy did seem like he was down for a long time. Pause. And I thought 50 was just trying to kick his back in. It was clear that 50 wanted him to go to jail for a lengthy time, maybe for the rest of his life. And I've said personally, I really think that 50 wanted him to go to jail because he was baby moms. You get what I'm saying? And that's what that is. However, it looks like 50 wasn't playing around when he had announced from back in the day that, he was going to create at that time he called it the Diddy Do It doc. And he said he was going to do it and, all pun intended, he said he was going to do the doc and put it out with Netflix. And it appears that he wasn't capping. Netflix has actually put out a press release. Variety and other outlets picked it up. And they have announced that there is a release date, December 2nd, which is the Netflix documentary series from the executive producer, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. And it is called Sean Combs' The Reckoning. It's going to only be on Netflix. And yes, 50 is the executive producer. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a huge power move by 50. Now, I love 50, so we're not going to get into certain stuff, but 50 doesn't have the cleanest history. Sometimes I feel like when they go for these type of docs, the Surviving R. Kellys, they go for the most woke person to present the doc because you kind of need somebody to soapbox. With all due respect, I'm not saying 50 had freak-offs and shit like that, but 50 is 50 Cent, bro. You know what I mean? It's like 50 Cent isn't the most model human being. Not saying he's been accused or he does stuff that Diddy does, but 50 is 50.
The series traces Diddy's entire career, from his early beginnings building Bad Boy Records and developing artists like the notorious B.I.G. and Danity Kane, to the wave of lawsuits and criminal cases that ultimately stalled his public image and professional momentum. Who do you think might appear in this documentary? Are you expecting any surprising names? Share your thoughts in the comments below. That wraps up this video. Thanks for watching.